Hey everybody, this is Rusty again with Collector Auctions. I have got a short video today showing off some of the things I've picked up over the last week. Now before we get started, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you can help support the channel. As always, leave a comment. I love hearing from other people. What do you think about the books I'm picking up? And if you're ever interested in any of the books I show in my videos, please reach out to me through email on collectorauctions@yahoo.com. Alright guys, let's get started. Today's just going to be a short video. I've got 3 different sets of books that I'm going to show off. I've got one order from eBay that came in this week. And that book is this one right here. It's Fantastic Four number 247. And if you guys watched a couple of my previous videos, you know that this is one of the books that I've been picking up over the last couple of weeks. I've been trying to grab some of these John Byrne books that have Dr. Doom in them and some other ones, of course, but I'm trying to find them in higher grades. It's a little bit of a challenge to find them that way, but pick this up on eBay for a good price. It does have a little bit, it's not a spine roll, but you can see that the art is over a little bit on this. It's probably not the best presenting, but having looked at it, it looks really clean. It doesn't look like it has any major spine picks or anything, which is what attracted me to this, and I'm hoping that with a nice clean and press, this will be a nice book to get sent to CGC. Alright, so unlike the last video, I've got one order this week from Whatnot, from one seller. I stayed true to what I said I was going to do, which was try not to jump all over the place and stick with one seller. And I've got one book in here that I absolutely wanted. I'll show you that one last, but I've got a nice little stack of some nice little pickups just for the PC. None of these are probably going to end up getting graded, but I thought they were fun, and it's something that I haven't really collected in the past, but I love comics, whether the Marvel, DC, Independence, Silver Age, Bronze, Modern, that type, but I always liked some of these books. The artwork was always really good. But as I said, I didn't pay very much for any of these, and just a nice little collection for the PC. This is Sea Devils number 29, and they've got it graded as a 3.0. And as I said, it's for the PC. You can tell the bag is glaring a little bit. If I move it, it's in better. Well, not much, but just a beautiful cover. I always love looking at their covers from the Sea Devils artwork. And then we've got Showcase, number 46. Again, another low grade. This is rated as a 4.0 with Tommy Tomorrow. And then we've got Superman 180, I believe it's 186, a little hard to see. But again, just a low grade copy, a 3.0 is their grade. Picked it up for a few dollars, and one of the things I haven't really gotten into over the years is too much old DC books, but I do enjoy these. They're fun reads. They're actually fun to read. And then the second to last book I've got, and this was a little bit better of a grade, and I honestly picked it up for $1, and maybe it's a little bit of a spec. Maybe I'll send it out, maybe not. Otherwise, I'll just add it to the collection. This is Zane Grey's The Rustlers, and yeah, it's issue 532, Dell Comics issue, and they've got it graded as a 5.0. I thought that was a real neat, especially for $1. You can't get wrong with $1, that's fun. But there was one book that they had up in their auction. I think this was for one of Torpedo Comics auctions on Whatnot, and this one looked really good, and once I got the book, it looks really good. This could end up being, at the very least, I'm thinking an 9.0, but I'm going to press it. They've got it rated as an 8.0, but I'm looking at this and it looks really, really nice. And this is Avengers number 75. And if anybody remembers this was, if I remember right, it was the beginning of the Arkan storyline, but it was also, for me, it didn't matter what the storyline was as much as it was, actually I don't think it was Arkan. I can't remember exactly, but I remember that this was the first issue where you had Tom Palmer doing the inking on John Buscema's artwork in Avengers, and this is one of my favorite runs of comics out there. Those issues with the two of them, and even including issue 78 when Sal Buscema did the artwork and Tom Palmer still did the inking, just one of my absolute favorite runs. We've got Arkin, as again, he probably wasn't in this issue. I can't remember. But Arkin, you've got the Lethal Legion, you've got the first appearance of Red Wolf in issue 80. Just some fun issues, some beautiful artwork, and it's a little hard to see. I'm not going to take it down the wall, but you can see back here, I've got a print up on the wall. It's one of the splash panels. It's a production piece from one of the panels from one of the issues that I actually had Tom Palmer sign. So got a little bit of artwork, production artwork displayed in the house of that run as well. But this issue looked really nice, and I don't think, probably paid a little bit more than I probably should have, but I think I had all intentions of getting this one pressed and graded, and we'll see how that comes back. That will, in the end, will end up being one of those books that ultimately will stay in my collection as a PC piece. Again, it's my favorite run in comics. I don't know if you could top it. I mean, storylines, yes, you'd probably find more important storylines, but just the combination of Roy Thomas writing, John Buscema, and Tom Palmer artwork, you can't get wrong. It was just awesome. So that was my pickup from Whatnot this week, and from eBay. And then on Sunday, I ended up going to a little comic book show out in Frederick, Maryland, and they had never been to this particular show before. They had a lot of dealers. There was one in particular. It's funny. I had seen one particular dealer in Laurel at an earlier show back in the middle of the summer that I absolutely loved. Had a lot of the modern books, but since then my focus has been a lot more on the Bronze Age run of Marvel books, X-Men, Fantastic Four, things like that. So, and I've been focusing less on some of the newer spec books. I kind of did my thing on Something Stealing Children, Stray Dogs. I'm trying to think some of the other ones. Radiant Black, Geiger. There's a bunch of those that I've kind of had my feel right now with those, although I'll still be looking for some of those books, but right now my focus has been on, as I said, Bronze Age X-Men and Fantastic Four and some Spider-Man issues that I've been focusing on. So I'll show you what I picked up at the show. And on some of that I paid probably a little bit more than I should have. On some of them I paid, I think, was a really good price on it. But actually, the way I've got it in the box here, the last book I picked up at the show was Infinity Gauntlet number 1. I thought it was at a decent price. Did a quick look at the show, and the spine looked really clean. I couldn't find any visible defects, but even at the price I paid, I think I can get this one pressed and graded. I think it'll come out really nice. And then I picked up a couple Spider-Man issues from another dealer, and this is Spider-Man 271. It's I guess it's part 5 of the Spider Island storyline, but it's the cover on this one. I'm not sure if I actually had this one. I was sort of hit and miss on buying Spider-Man at the time, but just a beautiful Mary Jane in her outfit there. That, like I said, it was a cover buy. Now this one was a little bit less of a cover buy. This is definitely a spec book on my part. 258. This is the issue where they discovered that his costume is alive, and of course that sets us on the road to the Venom and everything, of course. But this book has been, I've just been watching the values in this book just go up like crazy, and it is very hard to pick up the spine ticks or any kind of non-color breaking spine ticks on this. That charcoal-ish black and white kind of gray background is very hard to see. But doing a quick look over this, it looked really clean, especially for the price that I paid for it. I thought that was pretty much of a steal. So I'm hoping that those will both grade. This one especially will grade out really well. This one I'll be looking to see in the CGC. All right, so now I've got these broken down as to the dealers, and if you see prices on some of the bags, don't worry about it. It's not exactly the price I paid. Now this one, You've seen this in some of my previous videos as well. I've got 2 copies of X-Men number 211. And if you remember, this is part of that Mutant Massacre storyline. And both issues look really nice. And then I picked up X-Men 11, and this is a cover by. A lot of people are expecting on this book just because of the cover, the beautiful Jim Lee Wolverine artwork. And I've actually sent this out to CGC myself, so I'm always looking to pick up a copy of that one. So we'll end up probably sending all 3 of these to CGC depending on the condition once I get really into the book. Alright, at another dealer, I ended up picking up one book that was on my list, and I went in there with a very tight list. There were certain issues of Fantastic Four, certain issues of Avengers, X-Men, and Spider-Man. And I tried not to go outside of that if I could. Obviously, the Infinity Gauntlet was something that I'd been keeping an eye on because I had just submitted that to CGC myself, my own copy, but I had never had a second copy. So when I saw that for that price, that one I went outside my lane. On this particular buyer, I ended up, again, going outside my lane a little bit, and that was with Daredevil 254, this first full appearance of Typhoid Mary. And I have got, this book is actually, I've got it sitting over in the pile off camera right here. It's my own copy that I've pressed and cleaned, and it is getting ready to be submitted to CGC. Bought this with the same intention. This will get pressed and graded as well. And then I picked up issue number 260, another one of those great early Hobgoblin stories, Ron Friend's artwork. Beautiful cover. I had not spec'd as much on this one, but I'm starting to see all those Hobgoblin issues from, I'm not talking necessarily about his first appearance in 238 and then the second in 239. I'm talking about the ones that, a couple issues in the 40s, and then you got 2 issues in the 50s and the late 60s, 260s that is. And anyway, I've been going back and picking up a few of those along the way. So again, I'm looking high grade on all of these. Hopefully we'll get 9/8 on these. Clean and press. It's coming. Alright. Now this dealer, if I've got it right, I actually probably bought more books at this one particular dealer. And again, I went outside my lane a little bit. I picked up issues 3 and 5 of Young Avengers, and both copies look really good. The prices were really good. I have these copies. I clean and pressed my own. They are, and I can't. There's no way I can get these to a 9.8, and I need those on a 9.8 to make any money on getting them slab. Both of these look clean. I'm basically taking a shot on both of these. And let's see, what else did I pick up there? I picked up 2 issues of Fantastic Four 249. This is the issue where they are fighting Gladiator from, what is it? It's from the X-Men. What's the team he's on? Can't remember right off. Anyway, beautiful issue. It's not a super high spec or anything, but there is a little bit of value to these if you can get a 9.8. The price was so good, and they actually look good. I take a look at all of these, just not, I don't pull everything out of the bag, but on some of these low dollar ones, it's worth taking a shot on gold. I also picked up, there's 250 as well. That's the conclusion to that part of the storyline. And plus you've got the X-Men in there as well. Well, if you know the storyline, it's sort of the X-Men. But you got John Byrne on the X-Men again, so that was very nice. And again, it's not a super high spec book, but a little bit if you can get a higher grade. And I'm looking for higher grades on all these. This is issue 246. I have to match up with that one I got from eBay from earlier in the video. Love this one, and then the next Doom story. I think it was issue 258, 259, somewhere in there. That storyline, I absolutely love these issues. John Byrne doing Dr. Doom. Everybody loves Dr. Doom from Kirby, but man, I tell you, I love me some John Byrne Dr. Doom. Anyway, 246. Looked really clean. And then the last one, I picked up another copy of X-Men 11. And Again, just to look like a very clean copy. We'll take a shot on goal. If it doesn't come out to a 9.8, there's actually some value even in a 9.6 on this. But we'll see. We'll see moving ahead what I do with that. All right, and then one dealer. Again, this is another book that if in my Baltimore video you saw me pick up a lot of these, and I had just cleaned and pressed every one of them that I bought from Baltimore and sent them out to CGC. But I picked up 3 copies of X-Men 205. This is the absolutely gem of Barry Winsor artwork from cover all the way throughout. It's absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely love this artwork. I don't know. In a lot of ways, I almost feel like it's underrated. It's so good. So 3 more copies of that. But all 3 of them look good. I paid a few dollars for these. These did not cost me a lot of money at all on that. Oh look, and from another dealer, I actually did find 258. So I was right. The 258 was the next Doom storyline. This one didn't look quite as clean. I could definitely see a fine pick there, but it didn't look color breaking. Clean and press on this. Maybe we'll get that one up. Again, this is not a big spec at all, but if I can get those high grades, again, that's when the value is in it. Alright, so the last book I got, and I actually found 2 copies of it. One was definitely had some more damage than the other, but the price was just absolutely fantastic. The other one I paid a little bit more for, but it is a lot cleaner of a copy. But what I'm talking about is Fantastic Four number 244. Like I said, I got 2 copies of that. I'll show you the really good one here. And let's see if I can fix that glare a little bit. There we go. So 244 is the end of the Galactus storyline with a 3-issue little story where they introduce Frankie Ray, who was at that point the girlfriend of Johnny Storm. She had discovered that she had fire powers just like the Human Torch, because it turns out that her father was the creator of the original Human Torch. And there's a storyline that goes into that. And in this issue, she makes the ultimate sacrifice to become Galactus' herald to help save him and save the world. And so this is the first issue where she becomes Nova. And this is, value in this has been slowly increasing and increasing and increasing. And what I'm finding as I look for this book, it is really super hard to find basically a near mint you can find, but finding one that is almost mint has been the Pink Elephant, or I guess the Pink Unicorn. I don't know, it's something like that. Every book I have come across has some sort of spine tick damage, from very little to a lot, and people are asking crazy prices on some of these. So right now, this is my challenge. This is the one I'm looking for more than anything. If anybody has this issue, reach out. We can talk. Again, I'm not looking for lower grade versions of this. I'm looking for a higher grade. So that's basically it, guys. That is the end of the video. That is all I picked up this week. It's pretty good. Most of these books will go into the press. I'll clean them up and get them into the press, and at some point down the line, most of these will end up at CGC. Part of that process is as I'm cleaning them, even if I decide at some point that I'm not going to submit them, at least they will be cleaned and pressed and put them to PC for the moment. I may end up selling them raw. We'll see how it goes. Part of that is finding out what the values, what the current fair market value is on books once they're graded, at what grades. So it's all part of a process. We'll get there eventually. But guys, that is it for the week. Again, hit the like and subscribe button to support the channel. Share with your friends. I'd love to expand this channel, be able to talk to other collectors, and hey guys, leave comments. Did you like the books that I'm collecting? What do you think of these? So anyway, guys, that is it. You have a great day. I will see you later, probably later in the week with the next video.